Hello, everyone. Happy Booker Prize shortlists. Happy Booker Prize shortlist. The shortlist came out a few days ago. I forget which date exactly, but today is the 26th. This is my Booker Prize shortlist announcement. So I know you may have already heard it, but you haven't heard it from me. And so have you really heard it? I don't think so. I don't think it counts. So especially because I know you've been waiting for this, and I know that you've been on the edge of your seat. Because you're like, okay, well, I just need to make sure that it's true. It needs to be confirmed by Claire. And so that's what I'm here for, you guys. Without further ado, let's get into it. For those of you who are unfamiliar, so the Booker Prize is a very prestigious literary award for fiction. I'm reading off of the internet just to make sure I get this right. It's a prestigious literary award conferred each year for the best single work of sustained fiction written in the English language and that has been published in the United Kingdom or Ireland. It sounds like a stricter entry pool than it actually is. I think it doesn't have to be originally published, I think, it could be an American writer, but the year that it's published in the UK or Ireland, whether that's the same year as it's published in the US or whatever, it's also would qualify to be entered into the Booker Prize pool. And this is in comparison to the International Booker Prize, which features translated fiction from around the world that was translated into English. These are books that were originally written in English. Okay. I have a stack of books in front of me. All of these are from the library. I'm in the middle of two of them. And it always happens that whenever I try to acquire books from the long list, I always end up reading the ones that don't make the short list. And then I'm like, okay, so I still have to read all. Because I want to read all of them, because I'm sure they're all amazing. And they all do sound really, really interesting this year. I'm in the middle of two of them, and they actually are two that are on the short list. Yay! So here is the Booker Prize shortlist 2025. First off, we have Flesh by David Zalé, and it is a propulsive, hypnotic novel about a man who is unraveled by a series of events beyond his grasp. That's their little description of it. So, oh, and it's blurbed by last year's winner of the Booker Prize, Samantha Harvey, with her book Orbital, which is amazing. Brilliance on every page, she says. So, I was able to get this from the university library, and it's a brand spanking new copy, so it looks like unread so far. But usually I feel like the Booker Prize books are pretty short, but this year a lot of them are quite chunky. It takes place in Hungary, and it asks profound questions about what drives a life, what makes it worth living, and what breaks it. So I'm really curious about this one. I don't know if this is the one that I'm most excited for necessarily. The one I was most excited for actually didn't make the shortlist. But I'm still going to read it. I'm going to read it anyway. So that's Flesh by David Zalé. Next up, we have The Rest of Our Lives by Ben Markovitz. And this one is a road trip book, which I am a big fan of. I actually started writing one at one point. This one is described as an unforgettable road trip novel about a middle-aged academic whose marriage, career, and body are all failing him, which is not good. When Tom Layward's wife had an affair, he resolved to leave her as soon as his youngest daughter turned 18. 12 years later, while driving her to Pittsburgh to start university, he remembers his pact. He's also on the run from his own health issues and the fact that he's been put on leave at work after students complained about the politics of his law class, something he hasn't yet told his wife. So after dropping off his daughter, he keeps driving with the vague plan of visiting people from his past, an old college friend, his ex-girlfriend, his brother, his son, en route maybe to his father's grave in California. So I think this is really interesting sounding, and I can't wait to read it. Next up we have Audition by Katie Kitamura. The font kind of messes with me. This is one of the ones I'm halfway through. And it is an exhilarating, destabilizing novel that asks whether we ever really know the people we love. So far, I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I was a little bit surprised that it made the shortlist. I feel like this was one of the books where I was yeah, this is the one that I'll be reading and then they won't make it. I'm interested to finish it. I said, obviously I'm still in the middle of it, but it's kind of about this woman who's an actress, and she ends up going to getting caught by her husband at lunch with another man. And so it's kind of the context of well, who is this other guy? Is it a romantic interest? What is happening? Was he catching her cheating? Was she cheating at all? And then it's about their marriage, which is just really interesting. I love reading about people's marriages. I don't know why. That's Audition. Next up, and the last one that I have a hard copy of for the shortlist, is Flashlight by Susan Choi, which is described as a thrilling, globe-spanning novel that mines questions of memory, language, identity, and family. So far, I would say that's true. I'm about 100 pages in. This was another one of the long ones for this list this year, and I am really enjoying it. It is about one evening, 10-year-old Louisa and her father take a walk out on the breakwater. They're spending the summer in coastal Japanese town, whilst her father, Cirque, a Korean immigrant, completes an academic secondment from his American university. When Louisa wakes hours later, she's soaking wet and hypothermic on the beach, and her father's missing, presumably drowned. The disappearance of Louisa's father shatters their small family unit, and she and her American mother, Anne, return to the U.S. profoundly changed. This dramatic event reverberates across time and space as we follow mother and daughter trying to go on with their lives, while the mystery of what really happens to Cirque that night slowly unravels. So it begins with kind of a prologue of sorts when the younger daughter, Louisa, is in kind of therapy, or like they're trying, it's after the father's death. And then it kind of goes back to part one, and then you're like, oh wait, what? Who are these people? And then it kind of goes back and begins from the beginning of this family's story. I'm really enjoying it. I'm listening to the audiobook and kind of tandem reading it. I'm excited to see where it goes. I love the writing style, and I'm not shocked that this is on the short list from what I've seen so far. And that's 4 out of the 6 books. And the other 2 that I do not have hard copies of, but I am on hold for at the library. The Land in Winter by Andrew Miller. It's a masterful page-turning examination of the minutiae of life and a dazzling chronicle of the human heart. A local doctor, Eric Perry, mulling secrets, sets out on his rounds while his pregnant wife sleeps on in the warmth of their cottage. Across the field, funny, troubling Rita Simmons is also asleep, her head full of images of a past life her husband prefers to ignore. He's been up for hours, tending to the needs of the small dairy farm where he hoped to create a new version of himself, a project that's already faltering. But when the ordinary cold of an English December gives way to violent blizzards, the 2 couples find their lives beginning to unravel. Where do you hide when you can't leave home? And where in a frozen world can you run to? That sounds really interesting. I'm excited for that one. The last one for the short list is The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny, which is described right here, which is described as a spellbinding story of 2 young people whose fates intersect and diverge across continents and years, an epic of love and family, India and America, tradition and modernity. As you've kind of probably noticed, there are a lot of themes of immigration and location and home and family, and so it kind of seems like each year the Booker Prize judges seem to focus on certain themes that are really prevalent in today's society and in politics and just like our world right now. And so it doesn't surprise me that themes of family and belonging and home and immigration as like a social issue are coming up in all of these books, or a lot of these books. And I'm excited to read more about these issues through these books. So a little bit more about this one. When Sonia and Sunny first glimpse each other on an overnight train, they're immediately captivated, yet also embarrassed by the fact that their grandparents had once tried to matchmake them, a clumsy meddling that only served to drive Sonia and Sunny apart. Sonia, an aspiring novelist who recently completed her studies in the snowy mountains of Vermont, has returned to her family in India, fearing she is haunted by a dark spell cast by an artist to whom she had once turned for intimacy and inspiration. Sunny, a struggling journalist resettled in New York City, is attempting to flee his imperious mother and the violence of his warring clan. Uncertain of their future, Sonia and Sunny embark on a search for happiness together as they confront the many alienations of our modern world. I love the idea that they were like, oh wait, they tried to matchmake us, but maybe they ate with that one though. That's kind of fun. So those are the 6 books of the short list. These 4, and then imagine the other 2 right here on the top of the stack. Maybe this is me with my stack of books. Do you like it? And then the 4 that I had acquired that are from the library, and then the 4 from the long list that I had acquired from the library include Love Forms by Claire Adam, Sea Scraper by Benjamin Wood, The South by Tash Aw, and Universality by Natasha Brown, which I wouldn't say I met her, but I saw her at an International Book Festival event in Edinburgh, where she gave a talk with another writer about this book. So I'm going to be reading, I intend to read all of these anyway, but I will be prioritizing the short list so then I can do some more content vlogs about it, etc. So the winner of the 2025 Booker Prize will be announced on November 10th, which is a Monday. The winning author wins £50,000, which is slay and kind of the dream. So I'm going to try really hard to read all 6 of these books before the winner is announced. And the fact that I'm already kind of halfway through too is like a blessing because I've been in a major reading slump. Stay tuned for some reading vlogs surrounding this Booker Prize reading list, so maybe some bracket and my predictions, and then I'll be here to announce my announce my thoughts. I'm gonna be here to announce my thoughts when the winner is announced, and I'll announce the winner. And so I dream of someday of being present at these announcement events, or even being a writer who is on the long list or the short list or a winner. Like that's like my dreams, to write the kind of literature that the Booker Prize recognizes in any way, shape, or form. And I'm more than happy to be celebrating these writers and their wonderful work. So I encourage you to pick up some that sound interesting to you. Another one from the long list that I will definitely be reading is Endling, which is just like, sounds like the cutest freaking book in the world. It's about, the cover has a little snail, and it's an unforgettable debut novel about the journey of 3 women and 1 extremely endangered snail through in contemporary Ukraine. Like, that sounds like the best book in the world. Like, I need to read that. And I was so bummed when it wasn't, I haven't read it yet, but I was just like bummed. And so I might just like throw that one into the reading vlogs anyway once I acquire it, because I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read it. Okay, well, I think that's all from me. Happy Booker Prize shortlist announcement from Claire Day. Happy reading. See you soon. Okay.